All right, welcome to this explainer. When you're learning about software architecture, coding stacks, system design, it can honestly feel kind of abstract, right? Like a bunch of theory floating around. But today, we're going to ground all of that directly into reality. We're breaking down the exact technical architecture of a live functioning platform, and get this, it uses the exact same stack you're learning about right now. We'll be diving into the design patterns, the actual data flows, and of course, the real-life trial and error journey of the builder. Okay, let's just jump right in and break the fourth wall here. Take a look around you. The very platform you are sitting inside of right now, the AFHSD AI Builder Academy, is literally the live example we are studying today. I mean, think about it. Everything you've learned so far, app script fundamentals, using Sheets as a data layer, HTML service web apps, LLM integration, it was all used to build the environment you're experiencing at this exact second. This isn't some imaginary, hypothetical scenario drawn on a whiteboard. It is a live application built by a district staff member using the exact same principles you're mastering. How cool is that? Now, you might be wondering, why build this from scratch at all, right? Why did AFHSD invest the time into a custom tool instead of just, firing up another Google Classroom? Well, Google Classroom is fantastic for your basic assignments, for sure, but the district needed a seriously robust credentialing pathway. We're talking custom gating logic, meaning you literally can't move on to Module 3 until you've truly actually mastered Module 2. They also needed structured, automated milestone notifications that go straight to leadership, plus a fully branded experience that signals, hey, this is a serious professional credential. Google Classroom is fine for the basics, but it just couldn't handle that level of automatic tracking and custom logic they desperately needed. So let's look at the district's specific wish list here. They drew up a pretty strict set of requirements for this pathway. They absolutely had to have that module gating, real-time progress tracking, a totally seamless way to handle capstone submissions, and automatic notifications to stakeholders when someone finishes, plus automatic certificate generation. I mean, that is a heavy lift. The builder was basically staring at a blank canvas and had to figure out exactly how to architect the whole thing from scratch. They had to make app script, HTML service, and large language models all talk to each other seamlessly. And to solve this massive puzzle, the builder made what I think is a brilliant architectural decision. It's called the sheet as brain model. Think of this as the absolute foundation for the entire platform. Now, in standard web development, you'd probably be wrestling with some complicated, over-engineered SQL database and a really complex backend server. But here, a humble single master Google Sheet acts as the entire central database and the admin interface. The web app that you actually interact with, it's just the face of the operation. It's merely the user interface, and it doesn't actually store any data itself. Let's zoom in on this brain for a second. In this model, the web app's code holds absolutely nothing. It is literally an empty shell that just knows how to display things on a screen. Instead, that single master Google Sheet does all the heavy lifting. It holds everything, and I mean everything. The text for the module content, the URLs for the videos, the exact wording for the knowledge checks and assessments, every single user's record, the real-time progress tracking, even the admin configs. If it exists in the Academy, I guarantee you it lives in a cell in that spreadsheet. Okay, so let's trace how data actually flows in this setup, because this is honestly where the magic happens. Step 1, you log in, and the web app immediately requests data from the sheet. Step 2, the master sheet calculates exactly where you are in the course and serves up the correct content. Step 3, you interact with the interface, like say you submit your final answer for the Module 2 knowledge check. And then finally, Step 4, the web app takes your specific answer and writes it directly back to a precise row and column in the spreadsheet. Like boom, straight to row 42, column G. It's this constant, totally invisible conversation happening between a simple website and a really powerful spreadsheet. And this separation of the brain and the face gives us a massive advantage when it comes to ongoing maintenance. Since all the content lives right there in a spreadsheet, administrators can update the app's content in seconds, literally seconds. If a video link breaks or someone spots a typo in a quiz question, an admin doesn't need to call up a developer, open a code editor, or push a new version of the software. No way. They just open the Google Sheet, fix a typo in the cell, hit enter, and they're done. The very next time a user refreshes the page, the web app automatically pulls the newly updated text, zero coding required to maintain it. It's a real game changer. Moving on to integrations, let's talk about the user experience for a minute. You probably noticed when you got here that you didn't have to create some new username or remember yet another password to get in. That's because the platform relies seamlessly on the district's existing Google authentication.
It uses this really clever deployment setting in AppScript called Anyone Within AFHSD. So when you access the app, the code just runs a simple function, session.getActiveUser.getEmail, and it silently grabs your district email right at login. You don't have to manage any separate accounts, no password resets, nothing. It's just a completely invisible, frictionless integration. But, okay, what about the AI part? To give you that intelligent feedback, the platform securely integrates the Gemini API. It does this using a service called Fetch app, which basically just tells AppScript, hey, go talk to Google's AI servers and bring me back a response. Now, security is absolutely paramount here. You never ever want to leave your API keys sitting out in the open. So the builder architected this so that the API key is stored super securely in the script properties of AppScript. It essentially acts as a hidden vault. That means the key is never visible in the raw code, which is critical to prevent, unauthorized billing or accidental data leaks. It keeps the district system completely locked down and secure.
Which actually brings us to a somewhat philosophical point about the builder's journey. There's this saying, choosing the right tool for each layer of the problem is what distinguishes an architect from someone who just knows one tool. I love that. Google Classroom was a tool. AppScript is a tool. Gemini is a tool. The creator of this platform didn't just try to force everything into one single box. Instead, they really looked at the district's requirements and thoughtfully layered the right tools together to build this comprehensive solution.
And honestly, here is the most encouraging part of this entire explainer. The creator of this platform, they were not born a master software architect. They started out exactly where you are today in Module 2, literally just staring at a blinking cursor, trying to learn the frameworks, figuring out how HTML service talks to AppScript, and yeah, making plenty of mistakes along the way. Building this academy was a huge journey of drafting, testing, failing, and iterating.
I really want to emphasize this point. When you are building software, it is just a continuous process of trial and error. Things will inevitably break. Data won't save, the screen will randomly go blank, or an API will just flat out refuse to connect, leaving you staring at this terrifying wall of red text. We've all been there. But a true builder completely changes their mindset about failure. They don't look at error messages in the console as roadblocks or signs of defeat. Actually, scratch that, it's more like they see them as highly specific feedback loops. The system is literally handing you the answer, telling you exactly what to fix. You take that feedback, you tweak the code, and you iteratively improve the architecture. That is exactly how this very platform was born. And the district created the builder's permit specifically because they recognize the incredible value of this exact process. They want to empower more staff members to embrace this journey of iteration, learning, and growth. Because they know that when you put these powerful tools directly into the hands of the educators and staff, the people who actually understand the day-to-day problems of a school district, that's when the real magic happens. You go from just being a consumer of software to an actual creator of solutions. So I want to leave you with this final thought. You've seen the architecture, you understand how the data flows, and you know the trial and error mindset that it takes to succeed. Your current Module 2 deliverable, it's not just some homework assignment. It is literally the start of your professional portfolio. The tools are right there in your hands, and the blueprint is right in front of you. So take these architecture lessons, embrace those red error messages as feedback loops, and ask yourself, what will you build next?